I'm Charlie Wolfe, president of Blaze Logistics LLC and Blaze Express Courier Service, and you're watching Last to First podcast.
I'm your host, Jason Burns, and we'll be bringing you the stories from the front lines, everything from last mile to the first mile in the most dynamic industry in today's supply chain. If you like the content we're producing, the videos we're releasing, the stories we're telling you, give us a like, subscribe to our channels, give us some feedback on how we can improve your last to first journey.
Now, I want to ask you about, since you actually did it, you not only unloaded these trucks, I'm sure you made some of your own deliveries of these large appliances. We tried doing big and bulky, people call it now, but these appliances, and it's not the same as dropping off a medical specimen or a small parcel.
No, absolutely not.
What's the biggest difference when you're talking about delivering an appliance? And this is 80s, 90s. This is true home delivery.
True home delivery.
At a time when it wasn't a buzzword like it is now.
Before home delivery was cool. That's right.
Before it was cool. And then was it a employee-based model, independent contractor model at the time? How did the business operate? And then what's the biggest challenge with those type of freight movements?
A lot of stuff there. But first of all, the difference, obviously, with home delivery, as we'll call it home delivery, it could be appliances, could be bedding, could be cabinetry. And we delivered a lot of cabinets to remodeled homes and things of that nature. To me, it's a business within a business. You have to run it separately. You have to have two-man trucks, of course. And what we found back in those days, we did have an IC model, but what we found back in those days was that it was hard to find ICs with the right equipment. So we wound up leasing trucks and having both an employee model and that one or two IC. We had a couple of ICs that were good. So we just had it both.
Hybrid model.
Exactly. But the thing that you have to think about when you're dealing with home delivery is you really have to have a customer service department dedicated to that.
Yes.
Because you get, I really truly believe we as consumers are more demanding than we are as business people in some cases. Because you will get calls 3 and 4 and 5 times a day from that one person. You said it was going to be 12 o'clock. It's 11:45. He's not here yet. It's now 12:15. Well, we're running a little bit late. He should be there by 1. It's 1:05. You know, it's come on.
Yeah, that's a huge distinction because most companies in our space are B2B, right? They deliver to businesses or pick up from a business going back to another business. But when you get into the home delivery space or the B2C space, the business consumer space, it's a game changer, right?
Absolutely.
And you're right, that customer service component is so critical. And I think I missed it when we first started doing this work. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about the phone calls coming in. And I had my dispatcher kind of set up to do all the stuff, but they're getting bombarded with phone calls and people requesting different delivery times. And you get delayed on one, the whole route for the whole day is up the creek.
Yeah, we got to the point where we did a manual route optimization, if you want to call it that way. So what we do is we had these sheets. and all the deliveries for the routes were listed on these sheets, just handwritten on the sheets. And next to them was, I think we referred to it as the pinpoint time. And so we would allocate certain time all the way down the sheet so that, and we manually filled it. What time that driver left? Oh, he left at 8:30. Okay, 8:30. Okay, we're going to put his pinpoint time for the first stop at 9 o'clock. And you go through this process of 30 minutes, 15 minutes on site, 30-minute drive, so forth and so on, whatever the formula was back then. So we had all these pinpoint times listed down. Optimum route back then was about 14 stops. We've had, obviously, trucks that had less, and we've had trucks that had 20 stops. So, but you want to stay around 14, 15 stops and to get through a day. Well, what happens is, to your point, what you just said, somebody calls that their pinpoint time is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So what we would always say, I always say, go back 30 and go up 90. So your estimate would be, we should be there between 3:30 and 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we gave these 2-hour windows, but we didn't. Obviously, there was no technology to put it out there to say, hey, this is your ETA. But we would do it when they called. So what would happen is, with stop number 12 or 13 or whatever that is going to be delivered at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, stop number 4 held us up an hour. And then that means everything gets, and then stop number 5 was a little bit longer than, and before you know it, the whole route is running over 90 minutes behind. Therefore, you're going to miss your high end of the window there.
And if you're operating an employee model, overtime is now.
Absolutely.
And it gets, you can start to lose it pretty quick.
Yeah, we had some ugly days. We had drivers out there at 10 o'clock at night, and it was like people calling and saying, I don't care. I want my refrigerator. Bring it to me.